Hello there, I'm Jazzy, and on this channel I do a mixture of babbling about my original characters, or I focus on established characters in media, like my redesign of Karma from Karma's World, which I have to thank you all for that video blowing up. I was not expecting that one. The support is deeply appreciated. For today, I am drawing a new way to see the one and only lesbian space princess. If you don't know what that is, you should be grateful. It's a movie that recently came out. I kept hearing so much hate about this film, but I want to see it for myself. I obviously didn't find a pirating website because that is wrong. I watched a little chunk of the film and I turned it off so I didn't have to suffer any longer. Bro, I thought people were exaggerating, but it's genuinely, I think it's really bad. To make a long story short, it's about a princess from a lesbian planet who is hated on because she's boring. Her girlfriend breaks up with her. She then gets kidnapped and our main character has to rescue her ex. She bumps into a random singer goat thing and they start hitting it off. That's where I left off. I think they find the ex and set her free, and the princess doesn't choose either person to be with and just dips. Forgot to mention the princess needs to summon this weapon to save the ex. Anyways, I just couldn't get into it. I decided to make my own version because why not? I'm bored and I love redesigning random characters. But I'm not only showing you a new way to see them, but I'm also rewriting it too. So let's get into it. Follow me.
Syra, I've got a crush on you.
So I'm taking away all the lesbian planet stuff. I personally think they were trying to make a world where it's just normal to get with anyone, like there isn't any homophobia or anything. But fun fact, you don't have to make a lesbian planet to do that. Shows like The Owl House or She-Ra do this quite well. It's never questioned when two girls are together, and that makes the audience understand that this is a norm. What I mean by norm, however, is that it's accepted within society. With my version, I want our Princess Sarah to live in a kingdom where love is destiny. At the age of 23, you find your true love. When that happens, for the royal family, a mighty weapon appears. This tradition has lived on for many generations. Sarah has been assigned a suitor like all royals have been, but during her ceremony, a weapon never appeared. This is the first time this ever happened. The royal family is now at a standstill and doesn't know what to do. Sarah keeps hidden in her room. She feels like something is wrong with her. She has never felt at ease with anything she does. She's deeply disappointed with herself. So Sarah stays sulking in her bed until a person sneaks into her room. With the design side of things, I really wanted to hone down on how we are in space. This has to be my biggest gripe with the film. I yearn to see fun, wacky, zany designs, especially with the outfits. I love retro futurism. We never get to see that anymore, so I needed to draw it. It sucks that this movie could have gone insane with the spacey vibes. Lost opportunity. I hate that. One thing I do love about the look of this film is the bright colored line art. It's scrumptious, so I had to keep that in for the redesign process. I decided to do a mixture of my style with the style of the movie. I don't hate the overall look of the movie, but I wanted to make this video easier on myself. It's hard to replicate art styles. I wanted her to look reserved, so I covered her face. I also made a sort of crown thing to show that she's a princess. So this is my version of Sarah. I don't draw a lot of spacey, wacky characters, so this was pretty fun to do. The person that snuck into her room is none other than Kiki. She explains to Sarah that she is a lone traveler that searches for adventure. She goes where the wind takes her. Sarah thinks this must be her chance to see the world. She's been sheltered and tucked away in her castle. She wants to see what life has to offer. Maybe find out what's wrong with her. So she and Kiki venture off of Sarah's home planet. Kiki starts showing her different places of the galaxy, and night falls, and these two are under a beautiful night sky full of stars. Kiki leans in for a kiss, and nothing happens. Still no weapon, and Kiki is pissed. Turns out she only wanted the weapon because she is a bounty hunter. Sarah feels used and betrayed, but Kiki is actually on a time limit. She's actually in debt to, I guess, the straight white Malians, but I'm just gonna call them the Malians because I don't know. It just doesn't suit well with the story anymore if I call them this way. Anyway, to fulfill her debt, she needed to get the mighty weapon. The radar on her head is actually a tracking device, and it starts literally dragging her to the Malian's hideout. She's like a paper clip, and the hideout is a magnet, if that helps with the visuals in any way. After Kiki is dragged away, for some reason in her heart, Sarah wants to save her, even though she felt betrayed. So she takes Kiki's ship and goes out to find her. With the visual side of things, I want to play around with translucence. I see that a lot when it comes to futuristic clothing. I gave her huge jorts because I think it fits her laid back vibe. I added gloves and a tool belt to show that she's outside a lot. The antenna on her head is actually used as a phone, but the Malians hacked it to control her. So this is my redesign of Kiki. I'm so happy with how she turned out. She has such a playful vibe to her. So like the movie, while Sarah is in the spaceship, she crash lands and has to find a gem to refuel. And that's where she meets Willow. Willow is also on their own after running away from home. Sarah really wants to save Kiki and prove to everyone that she can be fixed. Willow has to be the perfect match for her. They're so positive and the two have so much in common. So Sarah tells Willow how she's on a rescue mission and they tag along. Sarah keeps trying to be romantic, compliments and holding hands. So when they finally arrive at the hideout, Sarah is anticipating having this weapon. She confesses to Willow and kisses them in front of the Malians, in front of Kiki, and nothing happens. Willow is confused about this whole weapon situation and Sarah explains everything. Willow tells her that love can't be forced, but Sarah expresses that she genuinely loved hanging out with them, all the fun they had during this journey. She also states how happy she felt when Kiki showed her what's outside her castle, so why isn't she in love? With Willow's design, I referenced the canon look just a smidge and just had a ball with it. I desperately sought for a more alien look. I have to keep complaining about how this movie didn't take advantage of the setting. Over-the-top futuristic characters look so cool. I decided to be stereotypical and have them be bright green with the antennas. I like their ears, so I pushed the aspect further to portray them as more goat-like. I like how goats' eyes look, so I had to coin that. This design had to be the hardest to figure out. The thought of fusing goth and retrofuturism was eating me to the core. This was difficult to hone down. Even though this design was stressing me out, Willow has to be my favorite. I adore this redesign so much. I would love to draw them again. They are just so adorable. Sarah admits that maybe she's just different and there has to be something wrong with her. The Malians lock all three of them up, declaring they'll prepare a surgery to force the weapon out of Sarah. Kiki and Willow tell the princess that they don't feel like there's anything wrong with her. They genuinely had fun being with her too. Kiki thanks her for coming to rescue her even though she used her and that she's a good friend. Willow agrees. Sarah claims that she's surprisingly happy with herself and doesn't regret anything, and suddenly she starts to glow. She transforms and reaches to her heart, and a sword starts emerging. The love she now has for herself was all that she needed. She frees them from the dungeon, and the princess goes into an epic battle with the Malians, and the adventure comes to a close. The trio chooses to travel the galaxy together. I know this is sappy as hell, but hey, self-love is a good lesson to teach to anyone. Also, that falling in love is complicated and some people just don't, and that's perfectly okay. With Sarah's final design, I went for more of a princess look. I sprinkled in some of Willow's and Kiki's design to show that they helped shape her into becoming a new person. I added a lot of wacky zany things to push the space theme, and that's Sarah's final look when she finally gets her mighty weapon. I think she looks really cool. So that is my redesign and rewrite of Lesbian Space Princess. I had so much fun with this video. I love playing around with the bright saturated colors. I love blinding people. Also, the shape language was fun to navigate. So do I really hate this movie? I just don't think it's my cup of tea. The jokes don't land for me. The payoff to each joke doesn't seem to be really paying off. They sometimes drag on for way too long, or I just don't understand what the punchline is supposed to be. Overall, it's not the worst thing in the world. The animation is okay. I do have to admit, I hate the design of Sarah. It's just because of the hair clip. It is atrocious. It's horrendous. I hate it. I bet it was so annoying to animate. You barely even notice it half the time, and when you do, it just looks confusing and in the way of things. It's such a useless thing to add in. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. How do you feel about this movie? How would you go about rewriting this film? Should this film even exist? Thanks for sticking till the end of the video. You should subscribe if you want to see more of my redesigns. I think that's all for me. See you!